Alright, let's begin. I'm going to position myself so you can see me in the little camera thing. Okay. So, first news. So, as you probably know, Trump was acquitted today. Not today, sorry, like a week ago. I'm kind of behind on stuff, but whatever. And this is what Mitch McConnell said before his vote.
Done.
Let me go back.
John Trump, former President of the United States, is not guilty as charged in the article of impeachment.
There's no question. None. That President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it. The people who stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions of their president. But in this case, the question is moot because former President Trump is constitutionally not eligible for conviction. I believe the best...
That is some bullshit because you can impeach a president after he's left office. Also, you just admitted he's guilty and went, but I'm not going to convict him. That is the most weaselly thing I've ever seen, and Mitch McConnell is kind of just the most legendary corporate Republican ever. And wow, this is something. What a weasel. This isn't a surprise to me. We knew the Senate wasn't going to convict him, and if you thought they were, you were naive and you were just imagining things. But I just love how Mitch McConnell was like, oh, he's guilty, but, like, he's not the president anymore, so, whoop-de-doo. Yeah. There's not much I can really say about this. I mean, Trump was guilty, incited a riot. It was horrifying. It was terrible. But he's out of office. I think we should move on from Trump. We should stop talking about him completely. I hope to God this is one of the last Trump stories I ever talk about because I don't like talking about this man because he's so evil. I'd rather focus on, well, he's so evil and he's just not worth the time. He's so pathetic. Unless he runs for office again, I'm not going to talk. I probably shouldn't talk about him. Unless it's something really stupid. So, I just jinxed myself. Anyway, I don't like talking about Trump because that gives him energy and fuel. I just felt like the impeachment trial was probably important to talk about, but it's over. I think we should move on, focus on Biden and the corporate Dems, get them to do some things. We should focus on pushing Biden left like we promised and like we were yelling about. So pushing Biden left would be nice. So anyway, speaking of corporate Dems, new allegations of cover-up by Cuomo over nursing home virus tool. Now, you might be wondering what the nursing home virus tool was. Luckily, actual reporters have that. So, here we are. Sorry about that. Okay, here we are. A lobbying group for hospital systems, including some of that own nursing homes, said it drafted and aggressively advocated for the immunity provision. The new law declares that top officials at hospitals and nursing home companies shall have immunity from any liability, civil or criminal, for any harm or damages alleged to have been sustained as a result or act of or omission of the course arranging providing healthcare services to address the COVID outbreak. So, Andrew Cuomo, gave a liability shield to hospitals and nursing homes to cover up. Now, why would he do that? Because they gave him money. They gave him money. And then they gave him, like, money, and then he gave them a corporate liability shield so they can get away with shit. Sorry about that. All right. The Democratic Assembly man Ron Kim said the language of the immunity bill and the entire proposal was drafted, submitted, and negotiated into law by Governor Andrew Cuomo and his staff. He He is leading 14 New York lawmakers in pushing legislation to repeal the language, and some of them assert that are linked to higher death rates in nursing homes. Now, Cuomo was also, according to the New York Times, covering up the virus told from nursing homes. Apparently, more than 10,000 New Yorkers died during the pandemic within nursing homes. And you know Andrew Cuomo. He's been hailed as a hero among the liberal media, okay? Like, CNN will have him and his brother on every night, and they'll, like, chat, like, bros, like, are you going to run for president? You're doing such a good job with New York. He wrote a book about the COVID-19 pandemic while it's still going on. That's insane. Andrew Cuomo is hailed as a hero, and 10,000 people died in nursing homes because he gave them a corporate liability shield. So, yeah. No one's on your side, guys. Yep. A memoir about his work on the pandemic called Leadership Lessons. While the state had acknowledged that the pandemic tore through nursing homes last spring, Mr. Cuomo's health department and refusal to reveal how many nursing home residents had died after being hospitalized, saying such information was difficult to compile and verify, was being carefully audited. Mr. Cuomo also tried to repeatedly blame the issue on former President Donald J. Trump and political partisanship, and was pushed back hard on allegations to cover up, simultaneously saying that his administration was committed to facts and suggesting, after some additional data was released, that statistics were beside the point. Yikes. That's a yikes. Statistics were beside the point. This man just said, look, I know we have 10,000 people who died in nursing homes, but that's beside the point. Look at me. I'm awesome and giving you updates about COVID. Aren't I so great? Yeah. So, I usually have a huge problem when the media and basically the world tries to make idols out of people like Andrew Cuomo, and then it turns around and you find out 10,000 people died in nursing homes under his watch. It's a funny world we live in. So yeah, Andrew Cuomo covered up nursing home data. So, oof. I'm laughing, but this really isn't funny. I'm just losing my sanity, that's all. Sorry. Yeah. So that's that story. Please don't idolize Andrew Cuomo. Please. He's a crook. He's just because he's a Democrat and he occasionally gives updates on the pandemic doesn't mean he's a good person. Due to him, 10,000 New Yorkers have died.